Hello and welcome everybody to the Petty Crew Radio Show. I'm your boy Boss Hog, host of the Petty Crew Radio Show, and in the building, all the way from San Antonio, Texas, I have my girl Diamond with me. What's good, Diamond?
Hi, just glad to be here.
Okay. How's everything going in San Antonio?
Everything's going pretty good. School's about to start, so just pretty much getting ready for this new school year, and hopefully, we don't have COVID issues because I'm sure you see about this Delta strand going around and all this situation with school
Uh,
and masks on and all of that stuff. So trying to get my mental health together.
already, I see that's what everybody on right now. Uh, as an educator, and my daughter, she goes back to school August the 16th as well. What are some of the safety measures are your school putting in place?
Here's the deal. The district's hands are tied with Governor Hot Wheels at the moment. So there's really not any safety precautions that's going to be going on. It's actually up to the parents to talk to their kids to instill those values in making sure you keep your mask on and all of that because we can't even make a student put their mask on. So if I have a kid come in my room and he does not want to wear a mask, there's absolutely nothing I can do. I can't make him put it on. I can't do anything. And let's be real, there's no social distancing going on in the school building. So if
Mhm.
they tell you that they social distancing, we didn't even social distance last year. It was very hard. Only way you had social distancing is if you were lucky enough that all your students were not in class at the same time, then you were able to social distance. But as an educator, my roster, I had 30 plus kids on my roster for each class. So if all my students showed up, we were not social distancing in the classroom. The only thing that helped out is that I had a good deal of my students that were actually virtual and opposed to the ones that were actually there. So because of that, we can social distance. But when we got to the end of the school year, a lot of them came back. So there was no real social distancing. There's not any in the hallways. And if your child does not wear a mask, then hey, we don't know what we're gonna get. And then you have to think of, is your child even old enough to be vaccinated? Because think about elementary schools. Those kids are under 12 years old. They're
Mhm.
not old enough to be vaccinated and nobody's making them wear a mask. So that's pure chaos within itself. I do work at a middle school, so some of my students are old enough to be vaccinated and some of them are not. But at the end of the day, there are no real safety precautions. They're not even giving us like last year, the little wipes and stuff like that. We're not getting any of that. So it's actually up to the classroom teachers that continue to pay out of their pocket to make sure that at least their classroom is safe at that moment. Is pretty much what we're dealing with now until Governor Hot Wheels decides to finally do what's right. And yes, he is Hot Wheels.
Not good with the Hot Wheels. Now, my daughter's school sent me a email out with what they call their little, reassuring safety precautions. It does state that where it is not required to wear a mask, but they do um what's the word for it? They do
Recommend.
recommend that students wear masks. And so my daughter, she will finally be back in school this year, so she will be masked up. They're not practicing six, but they're doing three. And so they are trying to maneuver their way around some type of forms of sanitizing, cleaning. Um, and we're going to see where this is going to go. I don't think this is a good idea, sadly. My thing is that sometimes you just have to revamp a whole curriculum dealing with this whole pandemic. Let's 86 this STARS test while we're in the middle of a pandemic, which will alleviate a lot of pressure from teachers and students. And let's just get these children educated and teaching them on the level they're in. And so hopefully everything goes well this school year. But, we're going to find out uh, what's really going on with this um, virus. So, again, We're not here to tell anybody what to do and how to do it. Hopefully, you guys make a sound decision uh, with being vaccinated, not being vaccinated, because regardless of what you all think, the truth is that we are in a pandemic, regardless of
Right.
whatever you believe. So that's going to be enough on that. Again, hopefully, all the children, teachers are safe, and let's hope that everything well. Definitely for you, being that you're going to be back in school with and it's gonna be wide open for y'all up there in San Antonio. With that being said, man, we have a great show lined up for you guys. We're gonna be talking about, is it acceptable for a husband to post a near naked, um, ass cheek picture of your wife on social media? And this is in reference to Dwayne Wade, who recently, or as recently as late last month, shared what I would consider a private picture on social media. And so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Dr. Dre's estranged daughter. She's 38. She did a recent interview where she says that she's homeless, sleeping out of her car. She has not had any type of financial assistance from her wealthy, famous father. And then we're gonna talk about old Robert Kelly. We have not discussed him in a couple of years on this radio show, but it is breaking news that now he has finally admitted through his attorney that uh, he did have a sexual relationship with Aaliyah. Some folks go say, "Oh, we knew it." No, well, you just thought it. You didn't know it. He just confirmed what you thought, uh, and that at the time of them being married, she was in fact underage. I think as the story goes, she was 18, or they said that she was 18 on the marriage license and all that. But come to find out, she really was 15 when all this occurred. So again, we have a great show lined up for you guys. But before we get into this show, man, I want to talk about this versus situation. So if you can just bear with me, Diamond. I'm not sure if you watched yesterday the latest versus battle that was between the
No.
Locks. You heard of the Locks? And Dipset, Cameron, Jules Santana, and Jim Jones. It was highly anticipated. I was looking forward to watching this versus. Now I don't watch all of them. I just watch the ones that are going to be interesting to me. And I had an opportunity to watch this video, and as I put on social media, my excitement quickly turned into disappointment after I watched these grown ass men act like real gangsters doing this versus. Legendary rapper Willie D, when asked about verses and if he would ever do one, he says that he would never do one. But he also says he has a dislike for it because it went from being a positive thing where everybody was kind of uplifting each other to now, it's beef oriented. And in my mind, and I will say it here on this show, is it reminds me of just nigga shit. You understand what I'm talking about? If you black, you understand nigga shit. If you are not a person of color, ask your black friends what is. You don't say nigga shit, just say N shit. Be safe. I don't want anybody beat up. But I watched this, man, and I was so disappointed because I would think that these brothers would, since they both pretty much from the same area, New York or whatever, that they would kind of lift each other up. You get what I'm saying? You
Right.
know, one do they little old music, the other one do they little music, and it was more or less like uh, a coming together of just hip hop, and it turned into like a rivalry. If you haven't go YouTube it if you didn't get opportunity to watch it live yesterday night or last night, um, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Camera stating, hey, if it's that serious of beef or whatever it is, go get the strap. I mean, just all this nonsense that I'm like took away from what I considered a great moment. While it's on my mind, Diamond, did you catch it? Now I don't think you
I
caught it,
did.
but I'm just asking, did you watch it?
I did not. I did not watch it at all.
Okay, so that's fine because the question I want to know, and you didn't have to watch it to ask this question, but I know you listen to rap. You grew up in the same era as me with the Locks and No Limit, all these groups, legendary groups. But you've
Right.
also seen the beef that is persistent in rap music. And on social media, I shared my disdain for what I saw last night. And I ended by saying, I'm convinced that rap is the ghetto garbage bottom feeder music. I mean, genre of music. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
that's the only genre where Negroes fighting. You get what I'm saying? You don't see two country western artists beefing with each other over territory. I'm from Tennessee. Well, I'm from Memphis. And I'm from, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
I get
I'm
you.
from Nashville. What? And why is, my question to you, Diamond, why do we have beefs? And we've seen people die from this shit. Where does all this come from? Where do you think it come from? Why in rap music is violence and this aggression shit prevalent in rap music? You don't see it nowhere else, but we see it in rap music.
Hmm. So my answer would be to that is honestly, I feel like it goes beyond rap music. Yes, rap music is keeping it going in this day and time, and that's the facade or the image that is now on rap music. But the actual beast in itself within our community started long before rap music. All rap music did was pick up that same beef and take it over here and add it to music because they figured out, oh, I could make a couple of dollars off of this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got this going. But the actual beef within itself is something our people have done for as long as I can remember. Of course, I wasn't living during slavery times, but I've heard of the stories. I've heard of how it was from my ancestors that lived through that time that I've had the privilege to meet, as well as my own experiences being a fair skinned African American and just having those internal beefs. So I think those beefs are internal that was already there, that they just actually moved them on over to the rap music and just took it to the next level of where it's at today.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we continue to do that? That's an age old question, and whoever has the answer for that should actually be able to get reached if you have the real answer. Because I'm gonna always say it goes back to that self worth, that self identity, that longing to belong somewhere and forcing your way or forcing acceptance into somewhere that you're trying to fit that isn't necessarily for you, and you got all of these people battling for the same space and all of these people that's, well, I can do it better, so now they consider themselves to be, hey, I'm better because I got this crew with me, or hey, I'm better because my album sold this much, it's a gold album, it's a platinum album, and I think it just stems from there. Now, why do we always add violence to that? Is a whole nother, taking it to a whole nother level. But I
Mm-hmm.
also think all of that stems from an inner problem that's way beyond rap music and has more to do with one's self-esteem, one's self-worth, and something that has been passed on through time, generation through generation.
Gotcha. And somebody will say, well, it's just music, healthy competition. And as an athlete, as somebody who understands competition throughout my whole life, I understand that. What I'm not understanding is, again, Why the aggression? You know, here in Dallas, we just had Mo3 to die, who was an up and coming artist again. Ain't not legendary. Just hot for a hot second. But
Right.
we're dying behind this shit, but other music genres not. And at the end of the day, it doesn't benefit anybody. You get what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here like all these people watching. How nice it would have been for them to just rock out on the music and inspire your children and everybody that is watching, instead of turning it into like I said, something that it just didn't have to go to. You get what I'm saying? Like, damn, everybody know everybody gangster. It ain't too many silver spoon black folks out here now. You get what I'm saying? So everybody got a little gangster in them, but it's also gangster just to keep it on the up and up. I'll give you a prime example. Another verses that could have went ugly, but at least one of the rappers tried to keep it professional and adult, and that was the Gucci Mane and Jeezy versus. Gucci Mane came in on that gangster shit. Jeezy was trying to keep it grown. You get what I'm saying? We're adults. We can do music without the dumb shit. We can do music without the banter back and forth. That we here to for a moment in history. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I'm like, damn, it would have been nice. I get it. Jadakiss is a beast. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Lox fan. I'm also a Cameron fan, not Dipset, but Cameron fan. But I was just hoping that after all these years, when these guys got together, there'll be love. It's like the equivalent of our legendary rappers here in Texas. UGK. Shout out to the late, Pimp C. I don't see Bun B on some gangster shit with, for instance, Now Rapper. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we carry ourselves just a little bit different here in the South. Our gangster don't have to be loud. Our gangster don't have to be in your face talking shit. It's just how we move as gangster. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't see Bun B. I don't see 8 Ball and MJG, because those are legendary artists. You follow what I'm saying? I don't see none of them acting a damn fool. We're going to just say 8 Ball and MJG versus Bun B, UGK. Those brothers are going to show each other love after every song. You get what I'm saying? And then they go get together and salute each other at the end of it. And that's what I was hoping to see, with this verses. And again, my question to you guys that are watching is, why is there so much of aggression? And you guys can drop it in the comments. Why is there so much aggression in rap? Why the beat that we know from time to time and we've seen where artists are dying? You get what I'm saying? How many folks from Florida then got shot? Niggas ending up in jail. I mean, is that really what we want to put out? And again, I get the gangster part of the music. Shit, Scarface will tell you up front. Scarface gangster. But what he ain't finna do is he ain't finna be on that dumb shit on no damn verses. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, the staff has just cut for something totally different. And I put it out there. So if you're from the East Coast, West Coast, take it however you want to, Midwest. I'm just saying we just move a little bit different and operate differently in Texas. Now, with that being said, man, as stated earlier in the show, Dwayne Wade, late July, in response to his wife who showered him with gifts over Father's Day and everything, she shot him I guess you want to call it a semi-nude, butt cheek out. And I'm going to show the video. I mean, not the video, but I'm going to show you guys this picture that Dwayne Wade shared of his wife. And my question to you guys as I pull this up on the screen is it acceptable for a husband to share his wife's semi-nude picture. So again, for you guys that are watching, the question at hand is it acceptable for a husband to share a semi-nude picture of his wife? So let me pull this up on the screen and I'm going to let you guys view this picture for yourself. Again, this is a picture that Dwayne Wade shared on Instagram. Diamond, can you see this picture?
Yes.
Okay. So the picture that we have up is the picture of Gabrielle Union. And if you look at the picture, uh, it's tagged Gabrielle Union. This is 48 with the eyes out and the peach for the ass. Again, I'm not taking nothing away from Gabrielle Union. She's a very beautiful woman. If you know me, I love my black women, especially in this in this realm, in this kind of situation. However, I did not think it was appropriate for a husband to share this type of picture publicly. And so here's a little bit backdrop behind the picture. Uh, the way Wade goes on social media and he shares this picture and he says, "Thank you for having the patience and the willingness to learn how to love us." He said about her joining his large family. "Thank you for allowing us to love you. Thank you for always being with the shit. Thank you for always being ready for the antics. Thank you for teaching the laughter, the sexiness, the coolness, the realness." And so that was the caption in which he attached to this picture that you guys are seeing here. And so again, anything you post on social media, be it pictures or words, it become game for the world. So I don't want anybody to be like, "Why are you sharing a picture of another man's wife?" Because the man shared the picture of his wife. So with that being said, the question at hand is it acceptable? Is this type of picture acceptable to share by a husband to the public? However you choose to shape that. I want to know you guys' thoughts. So again, if you're watching this, I want to know your thoughts. So please put them in the comments. Diamond, I'm gonna turn it over to you. You are a woman. You're also a married woman. So I want to know from a lady, what do you think about Dwayne Wade sharing this type of picture that is typically kept private between shit, boyfriend and girlfriend, definitely between husband and wife? What you think about it?
Okay, so let me ask you a question before I answer. What deems this particular picture that one is normally kept private? What deems that different from if she was outside at the beach in the same outfit?
What makes it different? Okay, so first and foremost, this is a bathroom picture. She's actually topless and she's in her panties. That's not a swimsuit. Those are her panties. In other words, if she was getting dressed. So the difference is the whole situation. It's one thing if you're on the beach in which you're in a bathing suit, where everybody's pretty much dressed the same. This is in the bathroom. She shot it to him, and he in return thought it would be okay to praise his wife in this way. So again, as a wife, as a woman, how would you feel if your husband? Well, no, let me change that. So let me put this out there. She had no problem with the picture, but it's not about her and what she thinks. It's about men. For once, we're finally talking about the men, ladies. This ain't got nothing to do with Gabrielle, because women think I just bash women or I bash women when it's furthest from the truth. So I don't want this to be about Gabrielle. It's out. I don't want to be out. I'm asking again as a man, and right now to my co-host, how do you feel about a husband who shares his wife's private picture?
So I have two different answers. And the reason I have two different answers is
Mm-hmm.
because my first answer is it's not cool. I would not have wanted my husband to share that type of picture. But also, my husband would not have shared that type of picture because we don't have that type of relationship where we do things like that. And with Dwayne and Gabrielle Union, we all know this relationship they got is very different from the norm of what we are used to seeing, used to understanding, used to. They do all kinds of things that we consider crazy, not necessarily crazy, because at the end of the day, to each its own. So things that most of America would consider crazy or different, they seem to do that. If they don't have a problem with it, then honestly I don't feel like we should have a problem with it because that's what they doing, that's their thing or whatever. I get the different setting. Yes, those are her underwear, but in today's time that's so easily the bottom to a bikini outfit. And yeah, she's in the restroom and not on the beach, so the setting is different. But at the end of the day, it's still the same outfit. I wouldn't even, me personally, even if I had her body, because I'm a little thickalicious, I still wouldn't wear that type of bathing suit where my ass cheeks would be out. But a lot of women do. So at the end of the day, that's what their comfort zone is. That's what they do. Do I personally think it's appropriate? No, I don't. But at the same time, I'm very big on what works for you might not work for me. So you do what works for you in your household.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if you're playing it safe or whatever, because again, so it's easy to say what you do in your household, what work for you, what work for you. That's what everybody. However, when you become a public figure or keep yourself in the public, you also open your door for a scrutiny, and so
Right.
it's no longer a private situation. Regardless of their relationship, because if that's the case, then I can think of plenty actors and actresses or sports people who you have no clue what they do in real life. Uh,
Exactly.
Denzel Washington and his wife. You don't, and so I understand where you're coming from as far as that's the relationship, and I get that. But the question is does it make it right? And what made me think about that, because I've seen it even on my answer on my timeline when I first presented it, and what it made me think of was back in slavery. Well, the same white folks who thought slavery was cool because they thought it was cool to have slaves, and they thought it was acceptable because that's what it was at the time. But did it make it right? You follow
Right.
what I'm saying? And so
I
it's no
wasn't even,
different
I actually
than
answered you. I said, in my eyes, it is not right. However, there they do a whole bunch of stuff in my eyes that are not right. So it's not me taking the safe way out. It's me saying, in my personal opinion, no, it is not right. But if they're comfortable with it, they're comfortable with it. Yes, they are people that are in, they're celebrities. So yeah, there are celebrities we know nothing about, and there are celebrities we know all of their story. These two tend to put their story out there. They tend to put their information out there for whatever reason, whether it's seeking more attention, whether hey, this is what we do, we get whatever their reason is behind it. They put a lot of their stuff out there on Front Street, like you say, that makes it open game. But again, my answer is the same. Do I personally think it's acceptable? No. But however, at the end of the day, if that's what they wish to do and that's what they do, then that's what they do and that's what they wish to do. But like I said, my husband wouldn't do it to me. I wouldn't want my husband to do it to me, even if he felt it was comfortable and he was comfortable in doing it. It's not comfortable for me with him doing it, and it's nothing that I would allow to have going on. But like I say, they put so much out there. We're talking about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. They just put everything out there. I wouldn't even be surprised if they put a picture of one of them sitting on the toilet using it on social media, because they just seem to be that open out there, wild side. Like,
and now I don't think they would go that far. We're in a different time we're not in a different time. It's just a different group of men and women. And on a bigger, because again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier about rap music and this whole, verses, and how it went from being a salute and a celebration of music to now we have, and it's no different than that. People are watching, our children are watching, and they're impressionable. Young ladies are watching this, young men are watching this, and what I believe is that, and I'm seeing this trend to where it's like, oh, it's acceptable. Oh, that's fine. But the truth is, it's not fine. It's no different than if me as a husband decided to show my print all the time on social media. You get what I'm saying? I love my meat. So you know what? Let me get every opportunity I get. Let me make sure I show it. You get what I'm saying? And where women do not want to be sexualized, my rebuttal is that you cannot have it both ways. You don't want men to be misogynist, yet and still you're putting men in a situation to be misogynist. And so I'm going to read a couple of my comments before we keep it moving. So, I had a nice mix of people who had different views. My uncle, shout out to my uncle, Stephen Arts. He said, a good point, nephew. But the player question is, what generation of men, because I asked the question on social media, in what world did it become acceptable for men to share these types of pictures of their wife publicly? There are so many other ways to praise your wife. Because ultimately what he was doing was giving a shout out to his wife. And like I said off air, to me, that was just the easy way out. Like, oh, let me share this picture. It was not creative. And I understood what he was doing. Listen, I'm all for black men and women uplifting their husbands and their wives. However, in my mind, there's just a better way to do it. I would never share this type of picture of my wife. I'm with you. Why? Because I respect my wife enough that if I did it, and like I put it in the comments, what Dwayne Wade did was reduced his wife to another basic chick on social media. We have so many women showing ass. When I say I can go to my Facebook page, pull 10 different women, I can find 5 different regular poses over 12 years with those same 10 women. You get what I'm saying? I can literally take 10 pictures from this young lady, 10 from this, or 5 from this one, and put them all together. And you're like, damn, this is all they do. And so for him to do that, it was like, shit. I mean, you just made her look like the rest of these other chicks. I guess I'm just one of those, your wife should be held to a high. You're holding her up just a little bit higher than what is on social media. And again, and he's a young dude. I don't even think he's 40 yet. You see what I'm saying? Maybe. But I don't think I don't think he's older. I think she's older than him because she is 48.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's older than him because he's 48. Another comment from a young lady that said, I'm so tired of these half-naked pictures. We are more than our bodies, but dang, it's just doing too much and doesn't help the next generation of women. And this is from a black young lady. Again, I'm so tired of the half-naked pictures. As a man, I put it out there, I am my damn self. I mean, it's cool. But I'm like, what else you got? If you didn't share your pictures of your ass, could you grab people's attention with your words? I've been doing it for 12 years. You ain't never seen me showing my ass. You ain't never seen me with some gray sweatpants on. You get what I'm saying? Like, Because think about it. That's really what we. That's again. I don't think women can talk about being looked at as sexual objects when you yourselves or your husband or the men that's supposed to lift you up. That's basically what they doing. You might not know you're doing it consciously. I mean, you see what I'm saying? But
Right.
ultimately, that's kind of what you're doing. So, again, if you guys are watching, you guys have seen the picture of Gabrielle Union. I'm asking, in what world, as I put on Facebook, when did it become acceptable for husbands to share semi-nude pictures of their wife? So let's go on and switch gears, because
Oh, but by the way, he's 39.
see, this nigga ain't even 40 yet. We talking about a whole different group of niggas. I mean, look, don't get me started, because again, we've had this conversation over the years. Uh, uh, my my first mind is telling me what I already knew, and I see what was happening. This brother was trying to secure the bag and has been trying to secure the bag since he left basketball. Think about it. He went on the LGB thing with his son. And it's in the form of exploitation. And ultimately, now he is a game show host. And I said it a couple of years before everything transpired. I said, there's a method behind this man's madness, because let's think about it. If he just retired, went on to do business, just like Bobby, whatever he was doing, would we know about Dwayne Wade? No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't know what he's doing. But what's going to catch attention? Anything LGBTQ, right? Anything with that is going to grab attention. Nudity is going to grab attention. I mean, it's going to grab attention. A woman can post a picture of herself, damn her husband. A woman can post a picture of her ass, and it happens every day. And she put a scripture at the top of her caption. Are we reading the scripture? Or are we looking at the picture you posted? Come on now, we looking at the picture you posted. So again, I ask you guys, and let us know your thoughts about it. Isn't it acceptable for a husband to share a semi-sexual picture of their wife? How do you feel about it? As a man, would you do it? As a woman, how do you feel about it? That's what we want to know. So please drop your comments in that. With that being said, let's keep it moving. Today, a story came out about Dr. Dre's 38-year-old daughter. Now, I don't keep up with celebrities. I got my own celebrity life. Shit, I'm just trying to live, to be worried about somebody else. But again, we are in the business of entertainment, news, everything black. And so when I seen this story hit, I was like, damn it, we got to talk about it. So as the story goes, Dr. Dre's estranged 38-year-old daughter says she is living in her car after not receiving money from him in 18 months. Let's think about that. She's 38 and has not received money from him in 18 months. First and foremost, y'all know me well enough. Apparently, I got questions, because I got questions. Because I'm just trying to add up all this money, and it's only been 18 months. So a little brief backdrop of it, and then I'm going to turn it over to Diamond, because I want to know Diamond's thoughts about this. It says, according to an exclusive with Daily Mail, Latanya Young stated that she is currently living out of her car while her 4 children live with friends because she cannot afford housing in California. For you guys that don't know, California is high as hell. Latanya said that despite her working as a delivery driver for both DoorDash and Uber Eats, while also working as an similar at a warehouse, she is struggling financially because her father, Dr. Dre, has not given her money in almost 2 years. She goes on to say, my kids are staying with friends. They are not living in the car. It's just me. I'm taking odd jobs just so to make it now. I got paid 15 an hour as an assembler at a warehouse. I'm trying to keep my head above water. I've been in debt for a while, she said. So then she goes on to say allegedly that her dad has stopped supporting her financially because she did interviews about their estranged relationship. As a result, she has no direct contact with him and can only reach him through his team. She goes on to say, I'm homeless and I've been reaching out to my dad for help. His lawyer has said that my dad doesn't want to help me because I've spoken about him in the press. I feel like I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I'm just trying to communicate with him and see if he wants to talk to his grandkids. My kids are old enough to know who he is. They are shocked that he doesn't want anything to do with them. Toy. I mean, I'm finna call her Toya. Diamond, talk to me. Um, why is a 38-year-old?
See, that's what I don't get. I don't understand why a 30-year-old is looking for support from her father, regardless of how much money he has, who he is. You 38 years old. You should be standing on your own. Now I did look at the whole story and why he was even, and it sounds like according to the story, he was helping her out and then she did some stuff that she shouldn't have done that he didn't agree with, so he took his funding back, as any parent would do, because at the end of the day, you 38 with 4 kids. Why are you depending on your dad to take care of those 4 kids? And then you got
Hmm.
your kids living with friends and you living in a vehicle that ain't yours, it's rental, and you ain't even paid that bill, and you got nerves to be out here talking about that. To me, you should be taking that time. Either one, you live in California. We all know California is expensive. And if you visited California, you know California is expensive. So you got a couple of options like other Californians do. You tough it out and get jobs and make it work. Or you move to another state that is a little bit cheaper, that you can afford to live in. But to be over here blasting this man about he ain't took care of you in 18 months, I don't feel like it's his responsibility to take care of you. You are 38 years old. You should be taking care of yourself.
Well,
In your
okay, so I got a question.
mm-hmm.
So what all has she done in which caused him to take his funding?
She said that she was informed that he took his funding because she did interviews about him and that they had an estranged relationship. So basically, she said they didn't have a good relationship, or that he left her mama when he was 5 and didn't pay child support or whatever. So because she did those interviews, he took his money back. That's what the article actually said.
Hmm. So my first question would be, why didn't the mother try to get back child support? If
Exactly.
if he did not financially take care of you, because I'm looking at this story too as we're talking, and I'm trying to figure out. I must have missed that part of it because I'm looking at the story from TSR. That's where I first seen it at the Shade
Right,
Room.
that's the one I read too from TSR. And as you continue to read and read all the way through it and down, she says that when she tried to find out why he wasn't giving her money anymore, she was informed by his people that it was because she did some interviews. But my thing is, first of all, okay, if he didn't do whatever you said he was supposed to do, which she said when he left her mom that he agreed to take care of her and her sister and to send them through college, and he didn't do none of that. So one,
Well,
like you,
okay,
at
yeah,
that case, in that case, why
gotcha.
didn't you go? Why didn't the mother pursue child support? Because this is somebody that was financially able, and you would have gotten child support. So one, you didn't do that. So okay, but for me, the other part that is beyond that is at some point y'all connected, and at some point he was taking care of you in your adult life. Cause just look at it, 18 months ago, that's less than
Hmm.
2 years ago. So you were still grown. Let's say you was 36, depending on how those dates range. Worst case scenario, you was 36. So in your adult life, somewhere in there, y'all connected, and he was making amends or trying to build a relationship or whatever the issue was. At the end of the day, you were getting financial support. So at that point
Right.
that you was getting financial support, why are you even going out doing these interviews? Like, why should, if y'all working on y'all relationship, y'all got whatever going, why are you even over here throwing out interviews that will make him be like, oh, you know what? Because the way it read to me is like, okay, you over here talking negative about me, about what happened in the past. I'm over here working with you, trying to work it out, give you this money,
Mhm.
help you out, and you still over here talking about me negatively. Yeah, let me just get my money and keep on moving. That's my take on reading the article in my story. So again, whatever he didn't do during your childhood, your mama didn't rectify the situation by filing child support or whatever. But y'all connected in your adult life, and he is giving, and whatever he was giving you must have been good. Cause all of a sudden now you talking about you working, so you wasn't working. Cause the way it leads to me is you was getting his money, you wasn't working. It was taking care of you and your 4 kids, and then you out here running your mouth, and sometimes our mouths get us in trouble. And you out
Right.
here running your mouth against the hand that is currently feeding you. So they be like, well, let me withdraw this support thing because you got an issue with everything. So to me, while she's saying she feels she damned if she do and damned if she don't, I feel like he feel like, well, I'm damned if I do or if I don't. So let me take my money. Since you over here still over here yapping about it, that's how I look at it. Because regardless, it's been 18 months. So guess what? 36, 38, 35, 30. You should be taking care of yourself. Every once in a while, you might get in a situation where your parent may have to help you. And I say may, but even at that point, you shouldn't be relying on it to put your whole life. Because you talking about 18 months and you still waiting on him to take care of you. Well, what you doing? Go get a
Right.
real job.
It's a lot that was not, again, Boss Hog has questions. Because I'm like you, Diamond. It's so much that we don't know. Uh, First and foremost, where are these kids' fathers? I made a statement and we talked about it in the last show. Being a single mother is not a accomplishment
Right?
because this is what happens. 4 kids, and then apparently they not with their daddies because the article goes on to say they're with friends.
Right.
Now, as a parent, I love my children, but I would be on that Dr. Dre shit too. You get what I'm saying? I help you, but I'm only gonna help you so much because you're not helping yourself, and that's just kind of
Exactly.
how we was raised. I can't put nothing to your nothing. You want me to put something with anything, you better come with at least half. You need to come to the table with something. But if you want me to put anything on with you, you can't come to me empty-handed and not having nothing. And so the question is again, like you said, what have you been doing since 18? Fuck that. What have you been doing since 1920? You telling me that you, with these low-paying jobs, you don't qualify for assistance, housing. Now, again, if you're in California, they make more than us because the cost of living is higher. You know what I'm saying? And so if we lived in California and we were doing what we was doing in our professional shit, we would be making bukus of money. I'll rack up there just to come back home and be good, come back to Texas. And folks do that. It seems like this young lady has squandered her time, and we've noticed this and we see this time and time again with celebrity children. Um, I'm not sure if you seen what Brian McKnight went through with his son. It's this sense of entitlement because my dad's a celebrity, and I gotta be honest, I think entertainment is actually the lowest form of blackness. or it's low to me. It's down there. And why do I say that? We were talking about slavery earlier, right? We were
Right.
singing and dancing for master. You follow what I'm saying? The only
Right.
difference now is we sing and dance for master. We just get paid well to do it. You follow
Right.
what I'm saying? If
I
you're
feel
an
you.
entertainer, in the grand scheme of things, you don't make any type of world changes. You're not in the you're not in the Senate room, the House. You're not a you get what I'm saying? You are an entertainer. You just get paid well for what you do. When we watching sports, they make millions of dollars to play a sport, to run up and down a basketball court, to throw a football. You get what I'm saying? You go
Totally.
from so to me when I'm looking at all of that, I'm like, I don't. There's no wow factor for me. It's not like, ooh, this is who this is. I wouldn't care how much money you make. You're an entertainer. I mean, you don't need a degree to be an entertainer. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I had to go to truck driving school to be a professional truck driver.
Right. I
You
had to
don't
go
have
to
to
school to
go
be a teacher.
right. You don't have to go to school to be a to rap. Now I would say actors and actresses, if they want to become well rounded in different forms of artistry, they do that. But for a lot of them, they don't. Tyrese didn't go to acting school. I mean, there's a lot of folks that didn't go to acting school who are
Right.
making tons of money in that field. And so I'm not getting this sense of entitlement. Again, where are those children's fathers? Clearly, they're not paying child support. So you made all the decisions you made, and for all the parents who are listening and watching this, but those parents, daddies, and mamas who's giving their children everything, making them think that they the God's gift to the world, you don't want nothing rough in life to happen to them. You want to make sure you baby their ass all through life. This is kind of what happened when you're now left on your own to try to do it yourself. You have a 38-year-old young lady who I'm in a car. I nigga, you apparently you got money to pay for a car. You know how many people I passed on the road? I literally today while I was at work, I was somewhere and seen a damn section of homeless folks in just an area. Nothing but the carts with their stuff. You think you got it bad? You get what I'm saying? You think you ain't pushing a cart? You sleeping in AC. I mean, but again, this is what we're seeing time and time again. Kirk Franklin, he had to cuss his damn son out, and guess where he's at? In California. Brian McKnight, whose son, he had to do a damn video explaining his relationship with his son and how he took care of him. Listen, Brian McKnight told him, man, I will pay for y'all somewhere to live for 4 years. Y'all need to make sure y'all do something with y'all life. I wish my parents would tell me, listen, I'm gonna pay for your crib for 4 years and all this shit. I just need you to
Right.
squander opportunities. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. I'm over here like, do you know how hard I worked to get through college, to get
Come
the
on,
little piece
man.
of paper I have?
Come on, man. If I had somebody to pay for my, you know how much money I'll be able to save to do the things I need to do, school, like you said, and all that other shit. With the most expensive thing to people is a roof over their head and food.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
I got your crib covered. You take care of everything else. And come on, man. Little mama, it's a reality check. Your ass damn near 40 years old,
Exactly.
and you're still trying to figure out and talking about I'm doing DoorDash and Uber Eats. Those are choices. Working in a warehouse as a similar, those are choices. Um, there's nowhere in here you can make me believe in California you're getting paid $15 in a warehouse. You can somebody lying somewhere. That's California. $15 in Texas, yeah. Hell no. $15 in California, you lying somewhere. So again, man, I'm sure as this story unfolds, because it just broke today, you know, a lot of more stuff is probably going to come out on this young lady that we probably gonna be like, okay, I see why you in the situation you're in. You follow what I'm saying? Because
Right. I'm
somewhere,
already seeing it.
yeah, it just somewhere it just does not make sense. And lastly, we haven't talked about R. Kelly in a couple of years, and if you follow this show, we have had all type of conversations about this brother R. Kelly. What I can tell you, as far as I know, nobody on my show, unless Diamond finna be the first to tell me otherwise, I still jam R. Kelly. If it's playing and I'm in the middle of doing something, I am not finna change the station because it's R. Kelly. I don't know this guy as a person, but his music is okay with me. Uh, I'm not going to mess up my mood and moment just because this dude comes up on Spotify, Pandora, anything that I'm listening to. As you guys know, he's been sitting in jail for damn near 2 years now, waiting to go to trial for all these allegations. But what just broke today is something that a lot of people are going to say they knew all along. Well, of course, we're going to say it, but it has just been confirmed. R. Kelly's lawyer confirmed the singer had a sexual relationship with Aaliyah when she was underage, but backtracks in court. The story goes on to say that R. Kelly has recently opened up about the specifics of his relationships with Aaliyah after decades of speculation. Um, it goes on to say that the pair who met during the production of Aaliyah's debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, denied that they had gotten married until it was uncovered in 2000. Despite this, R. Kelly vehemently denied speculations that he and Aaliyah had a sexual relationship. However, through one of his lawyers, R. Kelly has finally admitted he and Aaliyah indeed had a sexual relationship in the 90s in a statement to the independent attorney Thomas Farinelli claimed. It also goes on to say that uh, this revelation comes after R. Kelly's lawyer fought to dismiss any claims involving Jane Doe, number one, due to her unfortunate passing on August the 25th, 2001. As a result of this information, Jane Doe is identified or identity was pinpointed as Aaliyah, who tragically died in a plane crash when she was 22. So I don't need to go any further because again, the meat of this story is that right there. Now it does take a twist in court, however, for all intents and purposes, R. Kelly has finally confirmed that they had a sexual relationship. He knew she was 15. And for you guys, and I'm sure you know, the family went and annulled the marriage after 6 months. My question to the people that are watching: how do you feel about it? What are your thoughts about it? Again, I know I'm going to have the people that's going to say, "Oh, I already knew." Before I get my thoughts about it, Diamond, what are your thoughts about this? First and foremost, how have you felt or about everything that has been going on with R. Kelly? Did you believe, he was a sexual predator or messing with underage young lady? What is your overall thought on R. Kelly?
So first of all, let me just say this. I have not been one of those people that changed the radio station or whatever when
Mm-hmm.
his music comes on. Whatever whatever else he done, let's keep it real. That music is off the chain. So
Okay.
no, I have not been the person to change anything. If it comes on, it comes on, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. As far as, and in all honesty, as far as my personal opinion of him, believe it or not, I've never stopped to form an opinion. One of those reasons is when you get to talking about sexual predators and predators, I have a different feeling and I have a different emotion because I have been in those situations. So I tend not to even listen to those stories in great detail
Mm-hmm.
until they're like completely done, completely over with. All information is known to be true and in fact. So in all honesty, I didn't even watch when they did the little specials, telling about them. I haven't watched any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really formed an opinion. The only thing I really opinionated about was the fact that I think I pretty much like everybody else. No, I don't know because I wasn't there. But did I assume him and Aaliyah had a sexual relationship? Yes, I did. And especially given the fact that they were actually married. Come on, then that marriage got consummated some type of way. Now, I also often wonder why was it 6 months for the annulment? Because I don't know what happened in between that it was that long. I know that you can do them within a month's time.
Mm-hmm.
So I wondered that, and I've always wondered where were her parents at in this role? Because in all honesty, I feel like somewhere in here they played a major part, and I feel like money had a lot to do with it. And other than that, I've never like honestly made any opinions on, oh, he's a pedophile. I've never let it take up space in my head at all. And like I told you, because I do have I would have biased opinions just in all honesty because I'm a person that has been in that type of situation. Not necessarily with a celebrity, but just having a pedophile or whatever. I've been in that situation on more than one occasion. So those are things that I kind of just for mental health in general, I don't deal well on those until it's all said and done because I never want to take sides. I never want to be that person that say, "Oh, you're lying, it didn't happen," and I never want to be that person that automatically say, "Oh, yeah, it happened," just because it happened to me. I believe both sides need to be aired out, and all information needs to come to a head before I form any type of opinion at all.
Gotcha. I like that. Because we have so many people who, man, he did it. He did it. I don't know why. And I remember going on a young lady show on After Party Radio, and we had this conversation talking about R. Kelly, and it was like I'm wrong for just saying. First of all, what proof do you have? Because the truth is, to this day, we don't have no proof of him doing anything. You got a lot of allegations, but you still don't have proof. Um, it's no different than Bill Cosby in his situation where he was overturned. And I said it years ago when it first hit on the radio show that this man was literally convicted with no evidence. They tried to use his words against him, but he never said he raped anybody. They just tried to use his words against him because he did admit that he gave those women quaaludes. He admitted that.
Right.
Okay, I didn't give it to him to rape them. I didn't rape them. And again, that was at a time where that's what everybody was doing, and it was no different than how I saw R. Kelly because, like I said it then and I say it now, when you start trying to make people guilty in public eye, you got to be careful because now you're going to become a hypocrite. And why do I say that? Because see, you can't pick and choose who you're deciding to convict and not convict publicly. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
We
True.
don't want white people to do it to us because as we know, white people will quick to point us as guilty criminals, rapists, murderers. We're giving that title already, but then you would in return flip it and do that to a man in which one you don't know, you have no proof that done anything. It's almost like, and I like to use me. It's like what I remember years ago. Oh my God, it was a rumor back in high school that I hit my ex girlfriend. Right? Never no proof of it. But the truth of the matter was that my girlfriend in high school actually attacked me while she was pregnant, like in school with people around. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But somehow her friends spread a rumor, which I didn't give a fuck because everybody there, my mama, the purple them, nigga knew what it was. And my mama was like, y'all got my son, y'all got me fucked up. My daughter is not, my son is not going to be suspended for some shit he didn't do. You got witnesses that said that this young lady assaulted his ass. You just got me fucked up. It ain't finna happen like that. Ain't nobody finna miss no school. I told you my mama don't play no game.
Right.
She played no. You just got him fucked up. It's just not gonna happen. He's not gonna miss school. Because if anybody's gonna be suspended from school, it's gonna be her crazy ass. And that's how we go do that. Or we can go to court. It don't matter how it goes. Needless to say, my ass was back in school the next day. But however, I say all that to say that for years, and when I say years, just like in somebody on my social media page that I went to school with, and of course they basic bitches, because it happened on social media. Oh, that's why you hit women, and I'm laughing because I'm like, well where's the proof? Who? Because everybody talking, but ain't nobody saying nothing. You get what I'm saying? And I
Right.
feel it like R. Kelly. Everybody talking, but ain't nobody saying nothing. Don't nobody got no video recording. Ain't nobody got no audio. Nobody has nothing, but y'all somehow has said that this man has did all these things. Why? Because now if Roz were here, this is what Roz would say. Because I know Roz. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And this is where we kind of go back. Because now she's an R. Kelly fan. But this is where I kind of disagree. Because as somebody who was in a position where, again, some bitches tried to paint me as somebody that would assault a chick.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Totally understand.
So it ain't nowhere there's smoke, there's fire. Because what people didn't know was me and that young lady end up being cool. Like, she was my girlfriend, but I'm saying in life.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? I'm saying cool enough for me to be there while she deliver her baby in real life. And so that's where me and Roz kind of have that, like, I don't agree with that because until you've been in a position like that, because what you're technically saying is, well, if they said about you, it must be true. No, that ain't the truth. People get talked about every day just for the hell of it.
So do it. And lied on every day. They lied on Jesus.
And so I just found it strange that even with this R. Kelly, and I keep saying, well, when the fuck are they gonna do? When are they gonna have court? Like, he's the only nigga I know that's still in court. That ain't anybody else has been in court but him. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, if y'all got all this evidence, what the hell are y'all waiting on? It's virtual. He could do his shit from the cell or go to a room.
Right.
If y'all got all this compelling evidence against this brother, what are y'all waiting on? This would be the conviction of the century. At first, it was Bill Cosby, but Bill Cosby, the Supreme Court in Philadelphia told them that no, you couldn't do that. You can't go back on the word that y'all gave this man for his testimony. You can't go back and prosecute him for what he admitted to. You can't do that. So if R. Kelly get convicted, this will be the conviction of the lifetime of our literally. Here's a guy for all these years who the speculation, of who he was finally came to light. And I keep asking folks, and they get mad at me and shit. I'm like, but where's your proof?
Right.
Stop telling me what you heard in the stories you read. And ain't nobody got no proof for shit. And so now we know now with this Aaliyah situation, now that he's admitted it, yeah, I did. Now I could say, now I look at you crazy. I've heard the stories of R. Kelly. First of all, why would you? I would never leave my daughter around R. Kelly because I know me. Because I mean it. All my daughter would have to say, Daddy, he. I don't care who he is. You go see me. I'm coming. I'm thankful my daughter will be going attending Paul Queen College in Dallas, Texas. Because guess what? When my daughter called and she say some young nigga done got out of line or I was touching inappropriately, guess what I can do? I can hop in my car and I'm 15 minutes away. You see what I'm saying? As a
Right.
father. So now, yes, I'm with you. I look at him. I do look at him differently because he admitted to it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
The parents have always been questioned. Why would y'all? They can't secretly. I don't know the backdrop behind the parents. Some people say they knew, some say they don't. I'm just trying to figure out which one is it. I'm just trying to play it in my mind. Like, so did they have a conversation? Hey, I want to marry your daughter. We go lie, say she 18. I'ma slide you half a meal, 800. Let's keep it quiet. Basically, I
Right.
want to call your 15-year-old daughter. I mean, help me understand. I'm just trying to figure out, and I'm with you. What took so long? 6 months. Y'all felt guilty. Y'all woke up one day and just felt guilty. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Exactly.
so again, and I ain't talking about stories from people. I've heard stories. I remember Yo Yo, the rapper Yo Yo. She
Right.
was on she was on the Breakfast Club, and she talked about how R. Kelly, through his bodyguard or something, tried to slip her his number to her daughter. Now she was 21. I believe Yo Yo. Yo Yo is a respectable woman. You get what I'm saying? We're talking about Yo Yo, one of the queens of the East Coast. You can't play with my Yo Yo. Like, you got me messed up disrespecting a black woman, let alone playing with my daughter. That Yo Yo. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I believe that. Like, okay, well, I believe him to be, shisty. Like, when he created that song, "Don't Leave Your Girl Around Me," or whatever it is. I believe that because he seemed like the type of nigga that'll try to hit on your wife, and that's how you lose your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so these things, or even if you hear them and you don't believe them, why are women putting themselves in that position, and why are parents putting their children in a position, their daughters around him? What are your
Right.
thoughts on that? Why do you think they're doing it?
I can't answer. To me, at the end of the day, I can't answer why they doing it. But a lot of times, in all honesty, with things I've seen with my own eyes, and not even just his situation, a lot of it goes back to money. I went to high school with several young girls that were 15 and 16 years old, married to older men. And when I say older, I don't mean 18-year-olds. I
What?
don't mean 20 and 21. I mean older. And these were girls that I went to school with. Like a couple of them, I was even older than them. Like, huh? You married and they, driving car. Oh, I gotta go home and do this for my husband. I'm kind of looking like we in high school. You gotta go do what? So
Mm.
I know that stuff like this happens. I know that this is real because I've seen it with my own eyes. But at the end of the day, what I also see with those two eyes is, and what I've come to grips with is a lot of times it leads back to money. Something in that home life or whatever. Because at the end of the day, even though young girls I went to school with, the men that they were married to were men that were taking care of them, and they came from a broken home, or maybe they didn't have anybody at all, and for whatever, however it happened, that they were still able to marry them. Because again, they wasn't 18. I wasn't even 18, and I was older than them, so I know for sure that they were not 18. So however they got this documentation to get married and live with these grown men, I definitely know that in our society and in our demographics, it has happened. I mean, even before now, even, like some of our grandparents, they were 15. Look at Color Purple. Look at
Hey,
Stevie, married to Mister. Look at that age difference. So it's something, in all honesty, that has been going on for years and years and years. Now, what does it all stem back to? Honestly, I don't know. My assumption would say a lot of it stems back to money. Because honestly, in these day and times where we are right now, the only thing I could see or comprehend, not that I agree with it, I'm not condoning or agreeing with it, but I could see, like you say, he didn't talk to her parents, slipped them a little something, something. They took it, then all of a sudden one morning they woke up, ooh, we shouldn't have done that, or that was
right,
wrong, type situation. At the end of the day, I don't think it's right. I'm not condoning any of it, but that's what I assume that is at the bottom of a lot of it. Is a lot of it has, at the end of the day, sad to say, but a lot of it has to do with money.
right. And I think, money, uh, apparently this brother didn't have self control. And again, right now we know of nothing else that he did confirm that he he indeed was messing with a 15-year-old. Now I don't know any young ladies who married older men, but I do know young ladies who were dating, who was messing with, who was sexually active
Hey,
with
we had
older
some
men.
in
Like
high
you said,
school.
they wasn't 18, they wasn't 25. We talking about 32. But technically, they were doing the same thing that R. Kelly was doing. And at the end of the day, all of it was wrong. Be it if she did it, she was okay with it. Because what I've also been saying is let's not act like these little broads ain't fast and hot. Because first of all, I'm a nigga, and I know what we were doing in junior high school. I know what we were doing in high school, and so yes, the responsibility is on him, but it also on those young ladies because he was specific in the type of young ladies that he was talking to. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
He wasn't messing with he wasn't messing with or allegedly messing with a 16, 17-year-old who had some sense, who knew to call their mama, hey, this dude is trying to talk to me. He knew what type of he was dealing with. And so we can't act like it ain't hot girls at 15, 16,
Right.
17. Now I don't know what the legal age there in 17 where you're considered adult. But see here in Texas, and we talked about this on the show before, here in Texas it's 17.
Right.
It ain't 18, it's 17. So it's fair game for a dude that's 17. It's gonna look funny, but it's fair game. That's just Texas law. And so, like I said, man, for those who have been saying for years, you finally got one right. I'm not gonna say you got it right. What you thought was confirmed. I'm with you, Diamond. I wanted to hold out and get everything. I'm not gonna convict this guy based off public opinion because I wouldn't want anybody to convict me based off some shit that you don't know nothing about. You ain't seen nothing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't know nothing. And I say that because I've been in those shoes now, not from no sexual predator shit. But like I've said, and I've said a million times on this show, the worst thing you can do to a black man is one, say that he hit you or he sexually assaulted you. That's it. You get what I'm saying? That's it.
I do.
And so, again, the speculations have been, are no longer speculation. Now the question at hand is will the court use that against him? Will it get thrown out? Uh, because the story does go on to say that the attorney did concede and say yes, they had a relationship, but on the subject of her age, the attorney backtracked with that. So he still not gonna confirm the whole she was 15. So again, we'll be following this as it develops. Again, this brother still got to go before the court. He still has to be tried uh, before a jury of his peers before we put a nail in that coffin, before we can say who he is. And so, with that being said, man, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today's show. Um, Make sure you like us on all our social media pages: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Please make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe. Please make sure you like and share today's video. If you find anything that you like about it, hey man, leave a comment. We always interested in seeing our followers come in. We want you guys to be interactive. Again, thank you, Diamond, all the way from San Antonio, Texas, for joining me today. I hate that our other co-host, Roz, wasn't able to join us, busy woman. And so, we'll just catch her next show. Before we get out of here, Diamond, please let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on Facebook as Yolanda Diamond Jones or YOLO Expressions, where I do customized t-shirts, tumblers, and jewelry. Pretty much, if you want it personalized, I got you covered. Or you can find me on Facebook at YOLO's Expressions. And as always, I'm in San Antonio, Texas.
Yes, listen. Again, I'm your boy Boss Hog. Please make sure you go to the Petty Crew page on Facebook. Shout out to everybody who show us love and support each week when we do these shows. We really greatly appreciate it. Again, please continue to show your support to the Petty Crew. And again, please make sure you go to my co-host pages, man. Like and share their information. Reach out to them, to do some business with them, because that's what we're about, promoting each other. With that being said, I want to thank you again. We hope you have a great rest of the week. And until next time, we are out of here.